Call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Been moved and seconded.
Oh.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion passes. Next item is the consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept consent agenda.
Carrie moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion passes. Next, is there anybody here from the public like to speak to something that's not on the agenda? Seeing none. Special reports and presentations. Let the child abuse awareness folks step forward. I'll read something and then I'll let you guys present to the council.
Thank you.
Child Abuse Prevention Month 2024 proclamation. Whereas children are our nation's most vulnerable members as well as our nation's most valuable resources. A lot of V's in that one. Helping to shape the future of the city of Baldwin City. And childhood trauma can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout an individual's lifetime and impact future generations of their family. And childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, is a serious problem affecting every community in the U.S., and finding solutions requires input and actions from everybody. Protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children, and effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And children who live in families with access to concrete economic and social supports are less likely to experience abuse and neglect. And whereas we acknowledge that in order to solve the public health issue of abuse and neglect, we must work together to change hearts and mindsets through storytelling and sharing, center the needs of families, break down bias and barriers, and inspire action from expected and unexpected partners in prevention. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Therefore, I, Mayor Casey Semino, the City of Baldwin City, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have about 3 minutes that our director could tell you what our organization does.
Yes, she's going to want a picture though.
Oh, okay.
I'll get out of the way.
Oh, never mind. Everybody gets it. All right, I didn't want to have to divert to your eyeballs. Hold on one second, I'm sorry. I got it. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor, and council members, thank you for having us tonight. I just want to give you a little bit of information real quick on our role and what we do to serve our community here in Baldwin City and out throughout Douglas County. My name is Bev Turner. I'm the executive director, and I'm joined by Paula Martin and our district attorney, Suzanne Valdez, who are both part of our board of directors. April's National Child Abuse Prevention Month, when we recognize the importance of families and communities working together to prevent child abuse and neglect. The Children's Advocacy Center of Douglas County, we often call ourselves the CAC, so we're one and the same, coordinates the multidisciplinary team that responds to child abuse reports. Our MDT includes law enforcement, Department for Children and Families, the District Attorney's Office, mental and medical services, and victim advocates, all working together to support and improve the journey for a child and family when there's a disclosure of child abuse. These professionals work together in a collaborative approach that results in effective, efficient, and improved child-centered outcomes. The CAC provides a safe, child-friendly environment for the forensic interview that connects families with specialized medical and mental health services. We work to ensure families have access to these tools on their path to healing while removing the financial and transportational barriers. This month, we are joined together as a community to recognize it is the responsibility of us as adults to provide safe, stable, and nurturing relationships that help our kids thrive. I would also like to thank Police Chief Patrick and the Baldwin City Police Department, who have been active partners since our doors opened in 2021. And thank you, Baldwin City, for supporting this proclamation and recognize the importance of a childhood free from abuse. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next, police authorization. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you all.
Thank you.
In your packets, there was a bid or invoice for a police vehicle purchase. Chief Patrick cannot be here tonight to proclaim the great benefits that they have seen from the electric car, but he will soon, guaranteed. But essentially, we tried going out and getting a hybrid or electric vehicle, and it was impossible this year. So that's what.
The Durango's gas.
Yeah. This is, Chief and I talked about it, and I'll fill you in. I'll let Sergeant know.
Yeah, so the Tesla actually has been performing very well. It's kind of exceeded our expectations as far as battery life, things like that. The only downfall that it has is the passenger compartment is too small. We found that Chevy was making an all-electric police pursuit vehicle. However, in looking into that, found that Chevy has stopped all EV sales, so that's not even an option at this point. Our hope is that they'll open that back up for 2025, where we can look at that avenue some more. We looked at hybrid vehicles. Ford makes a special service vehicle. It's not pursuit rated, all electric again. So this is kind of our only option at this point for our needs.
Is there room enough in this vehicle to do what you need to do?
Yes.
Is it almost a full-size? Is it full-size Durango?
It's a full-size Durango.
So you got room in the front seat to get in and out?
Yes.
Any other questions?
Was it 41.6? Is that what it was? I'll make a motion to accept
Hang
it.
on. Let's have discussion.
Huh?
And let's make sure every council member has an opportunity to ask questions and have discussion. Any other questions for Sergeant Owens?
Is this in the budget for the police department?
Yeah. All right, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Council discussion.
Only question is Jerry on board?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Hang on. So Chief and I did have a discussion about this because we are seeing good success with the Tesla and the electric vehicle. So they are going to, as soon as Chevy opens back up for the Blazer, put in an order for that for next year just to get on the list. So I think everybody's seeing the benefits of going away. It's just timing of all these vehicles is impossible. So I just wanted you guys to be aware that that discussion did happen before this came in front of you. That the sentiment is to go electric because of the cost savings that we see. But due to this, the one thing that I don't mind about this is this vehicle, after the 7 years of it being used by the police, could be recycled into another department. It doesn't be an SUV. We use SUVs in public works. I think has one. Stu, do you have an SUV or are you in a truck?
I just inherited the car from Terry.
No.
That's the other one. So as it is, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
It's got 92,000 miles on it, but it's works pretty good.
So I think that's kind of the sentiment. We looked at F-150s too, because we thought, that'd be good. We could recycle that to the water department, the wastewater department. But we couldn't even get our hands on that, so it's been a struggle.
Well, I think one of the things that did help push that Tesla conversation was the availability piece of it.
Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we did. I mean, it proved to us that it will work.
Can you get a bigger one? Make a bigger Tesla?
Well, I think we have the Y, right? And the next one is the winged doors, and that's not real conducive to law enforcement.
No.
And I think we would get some side looks, stopping anybody in the wings come up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hard to act as a shield when you
You
get
get
this
the,
couple of your head,
get the Cybertruck. So anyways, any other discussion? before I let Jerry make his motion.
Which one?
Is
I
this
changed my
taking-
mind.
So is this taking the place of something else, or is it just an addition?
No, we used
We
to.
were one behind.
Yeah, we were a couple behind, because up until COVID year, we were buying a police car every single year. COVID hit, production essentially stopped, and we still haven't even been able to catch up. So that's why it was necessary to at least get, electric was so hard to find, to at least get something back in, because our vehicles are starting to get aged out pretty quick, because we got 2-3 years. So, but it's been in the budget every year for a new car. We just haven't used that. Jerry, I'm ready for your motion. Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Sell police car.
Changed my mind.
Real quick, what did we spend on the Tesla last year?
It was around 80.
It was,
All decked out, I think, in around 80.
I think we recouped our investment in like year 3, and then after the 4 and 5 is when we really, to spread that savings over the first.
Yeah, I think year 4, we were starting to break even, and then 5, 6, and 7.
That's what it was, okay.
We had good years.
Chevrolet give a reason why they put tradition.
I don't know that reason. No. The chief just told me that they stopped. They stopped even taking orders. They weren't even taking
For
orders.
Chevy,
Yeah.
I think there was an issue with the federal tax credit, so Chevy shut all of EV down.
With the what?
Federal tax credit that they're offering. So I know Tesla did that too late last year.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry's motion is on the floor because he made it twice. So I just need a second. Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thanks for the motion, Jerry.
Yeah, right. Thanks for the interference.
Okay, next on the agenda is the CD bids. Those were also in your packet. Every 6 months, we have $1 million CD from our reserve account that comes due. The last time we went out for bid with this, I think our interest rates were less than 3%. So you're seeing that now we're reaching that 4.85%, which is pretty healthy interest rate on that type of money for 2 years.
I read that. What? Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Glenn, do you have anything to
Baldwin
add to
State
that?
Bank.
And they're all 3 bids are in the packet. Yeah, I'll just
All
scroll
of our
through.
banks bid on that, and they all were real good. As far as the interest rates go, we always go with the highest interest rates on this one for 24 months. So that's where Mid-America came in at the
2 years.
highest.
You say 2 years.
It's 24 months. We rotate them around, like the mayor was saying, every 6 months. Another one comes due.
Kansas State Bank was the only one that didn't specify that it was APY. Do you know, just for, I guess, my own,
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
what you know why?
Do you know why?
I think, I don't know which they meant APR or APY. APY calculates the compound interest, as I understand it.
Right.
So,
Compounds.
so I just don't know how close Kansas State actually came.
But, yeah, like I pointed out, though, there's only 0.09
Right.
difference between, if you look at Kansas State banks, between their, APY and APR, 0.09 difference. So if you add that, even given the best, I guess, given as much credit as you can to Kansas State Bank, it still doesn't reach.
Yeah, I just want to know. I just want to know how close it came to the top bid.
But I mean, I'm happy with that. If I'm not mistaken, that's around $48,000, $49,000.
Yeah, I've done, it'll be right, it'll be roughly around that with that interest rate. And I don't know if we've seen interest rates like this a long time, so.
Not at that. When we started this process, we were getting less than 2% on most of our CDs. So to see this on one, is
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
And we do it every 6 months?
Every 6 months.
Do we miss one?
We fell behind a little bit, so I'm not sure where we sit. We used to do them in February and August every single year. So I don't
The
One we
rate's so
just
low.
cashed in, so we were down to 3.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, I think rates were low. We were like, just,
Right.
yeah,
We were-
don't mess with it, yeah. Don't lock it up.
Did we use it though? Did we cash it in and use it?
I don't know. I know that we cashed it in from the account. That's,
If we're not using it, we need to be bidding.
Why'd we do that? I don't know.
I think
should I check with,
the rate was so low, if I remember right, we needed
We need to look at it.
in reserve, we needed it.
Well, I think
I think we were gonna using the cash carry year over year.
That's
I think at that time, the interest rate in the checking account was higher than what we could get in the CD.
yeah, that's right.
So we were better off putting it in the checking
It
account.
was low, we didn't wanna lock it up.
Does that mean it's still there?
Yeah, should be.
should I check with Ben?
Yeah, let's check with Ben in the next meeting. We'll bring that back forward, because if we're seeing interest rates like
Yeah,
this,
that's what I'm saying.
we need to be getting that back.
Well, if I
in.
check with Ben, do you want me to send out an RFP for now, for the next meeting?
Yeah,
If it's still sitting in the checking account, yeah. So
probably on that one though, Amber, we only want to do a 12-month RFP because of, to get them back in the 6-month staggered position. We have that available to us. Does that make sense? So we have one coming expired every 6 months, just in case we need the funds.
Yeah, if it's just sitting in checking, I'm not sure. Would we see, where would we see that?
Where would we see
I
that?
mean, yeah,
Just in our checking balance.
so the budget finance, we don't see that, it's just in,
It's just in our,
it's just.
I think it's just in our general fund, what you see in, as part of.
So it
the-
is, it is, that's what I asked, so it is represented in
I
general.
think it's just representing our general fund. Is that
Reserve.
correct, Glenn? That $1 million?
Well, it'll show up in cash when you look at your cash balances. It'll just show up as a cash. It necessarily doesn't really show up in the budget per se. It shows up in your cash report that you get. You'll see where that's at. So we list them as CDs or just straight cash.
But either way, even if you roll it into a CD, it's still counted as plus in that general fund.
As a cash reserve,
As a
it
cash.
does. Yeah. Whether it's straight
Right.
cash
It's
or
still
CDs,
liquid.
that's where it ends
It's
up.
unlimited.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I think none of these
It's cash
CDs,
available.
I'm just trying to remember, I don't know that we review cash balances.
It's cash available, is it
It's
not?
all budget.
Yeah.
Fund. Maybe it's in the report, I don't know, we get that today, is that what that report is?
Yeah, it's in the monthly cash balance report that you get.
Look at that.
Yeah.
My only
It's
concern
important to
is
look at that.
putting it into CD, does that pull it out of the reserve and then affect your?
No, it's just,
As long as it's liquid, you can still count it.
anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? None, any further council discussion?
I move to accept the bid from Mid-American Bank for an interest rate of 4.86% for a 24-month CD.
Moved, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, rezone ordinance 1491, Lodge. Russ.
All right, good evening. Like Casey said, this is ordinance 1491. This is a rezone ordinance. The property is located at 502 Ames Street, or also known as the Lodge. The current zoning is CP2. The new zoning would be U, or what we call Planned University District. This was heard on Planning Commission on March 12th. It passed with a 4-0 unanimous vote in favor for recommendation for the rezone. We didn't have anybody that showed up that was opposed to the meeting at the public hearing. So,
Any questions for us?
You wouldn't have the Planned University District, or the U zone verbiage available in front of you?
not in front of me, no. No,
I'm
sorry.
just curious, as to- well, I mean, just like, C1, it tells you exactly what you can do.
You know exactly.
I don't know
they can do on
what you.
I mean, they can
U zone,
they can do like student housing. I mean, they could have like a cafeteria deal. I mean, it's really just university geared. So
I would assume you'd have to be a university to take advantage of that zoning, so if they sold it to a private entity.
it would have to be rezoned at that point. Yeah,
Makes sense.
correct.
Rezone residential, how's it rezoned?
So currently it's
Rezoned as school, right?
yeah, it would be under the U as university. Yeah.
Anybody else here would like to speak to this agenda item? No? Council discussion?
Yeah, that was the other thing that jumped out at me is that sale point. You know, if it sells, what does that look as? Kind of deal with that not too long ago, working across that scenario.
Yeah.
Do they have to, submit a site plan for what they're gonna do?
Not unless they're building,
Just building
new construction, then they submit site plan.
and then put these-
For a rezone, you don't, it just says what you can have on the property.
What it can be used for.
Yeah, what you can have, yeah, what you can use for. So yeah, if they build a new structure, then that's what site plan
You know that, well, we already answered it.
Any other discussions? I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve ordinance 1481.
1491.
So it's written here.
What's written on yours, Russ?
9-1.
They set you up correctly.
So
That's why.
Well, hold on, let's
That's
correct
why I
one.
don't do it anymore, because they
It's
plant those.
1491.
the packet says 81.
1491.
Okay. All right, I move we approve ordinance 1491.
Moved and seconded, Jared? Yes or no?
What?
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Yes.
Julie? Motion passes 4-0. Next, budget and finance, Scott.
We did not meet, since the last meeting. Next meeting is gonna be April 19th, 7:30 in the morning, second floor of City Hall.
Community development, Corey.
We also do not meet, sorry.
Huh?
No, get through this. April 8th, second floor City Hall, though that date may change because I will be out of town, looks like.
If you didn't hear that, Amara, they did not meet last time.
You know, you could offer me a drink in your big gulp.
They probably won't have a meeting here for you.
Thank you.
Of course, you may not survive. Is that what you said?
We're going down to see the eclipse in Arkansas, and there's cloud cover out west and some rain, so we're gonna have to head east, and I'm not gonna be back in time. That's it, with full story, that's it.
Public safety, Jerry.
Public safety?
Yeah, did you guys meet last?
She may have had a meeting, I went fishing.
Okay. There's no meeting.
And that's a fact.
I don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just laughing with you.
She never.
No. Okay, public works, Julie.
We did not meet since the last council meeting, and our next meeting is going to be on April 11th at 9 o'clock.
Strategic planning, Scott.
We also did not meet. Looks like we're taking spring, everybody's taking spring break. Our next meeting is going to be Friday, the 12th at 2 p.m. Second floor City Hall.
City administrator, staff comments? Anything?
Nothing further.
Any council comments? Oh, sorry.
I did reach out to Green Environmental and Wellsville. Want
regarding recycling center.
Yeah.
And they gave me pricing on putting stuff out. And I'd have to go look that back up. I should have had the email printed out. Wellsville, they did say it really needs to be manned, because you just get all sorts of stuff. And I think that that's gonna be our biggest problem, is because then it is contaminated and essentially trash.
Could we not do a designated time for drop-off for recycling? Like at Public Works, like behind the fence? Where we set up an area out there and every Friday morning from 8 to 10 is recycling drop-off. We'll cut down the manpower during operating hours, and it doesn't cost us anymore. And it's behind a fence
I can send you guys just the cost sheet of what it is for the roll-up, and then for, I think it's once a month pickup, I believe.
Julie, is this something you want to bring to your committee? And since Rob's in there, and more likely be one of his staff members, to have to man that.
Bring it up and see what they say.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna bring it back to the council. So I think that makes sense if we do it just once a week for a couple hours. I think we can solve that problem pretty easily.
Yeah. So probably like to see, probably gonna get filled up more than once a month dump though. Maybe look at different options as far as
Yeah, I
how
think
often they can come roll it off.
if
We can see how it feels.
Yeah.
If we only do a couple hours a week, though, it may not. I mean, it depends on
Yeah.
during the work week. On a weekend, it might, if we allowed.
But then we're paying overtime to have stuff.
Very true.
Right.
So I figured maybe if we could just figure out time during the week that might work for Rob.
We'll talk about it.
And then I'm sure they have a price per pickup or something. Give us. I don't think we have a need for an executive session tonight. Is that correct? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
What? What'd you say?
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
No,
I moved to adjourn.
no.
No.
I went to Wichita last week.
Fishing?
2 days of water council.
I thought you said you went fishing.
Huh?
That's water council.
Oh.
Is that what you call water council?
What?
So
Whatever
you're
you
saying the
want to
citizens
say.
of Baldwin just supplemented you to take a fishing trip?
Will you hang
to
on?
Wichita?
You're only the mayor to water conference.
Right.
And I attended some classes, and the first one I want to tell you about is on easements. What's being discovered about some easements that were done like 50 years ago, that the land has changed hands a couple, 3 times, and all of a sudden they're going out there to dig up a gas line that's buried there, or water line, or underground cables, or what have you. And the landowner is coming to him and saying, "What are you doing on my land? Why are you digging here?" "Well, we have a water line here, we have easement." And come and find out they don't have an easement, because some of those easements were signed and never recorded. Now, we got a line that we're going to have to redo up here one of these days, where we'll need to get easements. I'm not saying that we have that problem, but when we get ready to do it, that's something that needs to be checked. And also, on an easement, you can double it up. Now, they allow that. So if you have an easement, you can double up and put other stuff on that easement if you so desire. The one reason that I went to this class in particular is because some of the things that I was working with after I retired from the water district and working with other water districts and engineering companies, I was finding that they was only allowing 10 feet for an easement. Well, if you take a trencher that's got tracks on it, you'll be almost 4 feet into the stinger before you get through it, and then you're throwing the dirt out, and you got a track on the other side, so you're using up 6 feet of your 10 feet. You don't have equipment made to be able to backfill that. And that was one of the reasons I went in, and that was a discussion that we got into, which was interesting. And then I had lunch that same day with an engineer from Oxy, Kansas, I believe it was, a place out west. And he and I got into that discussion, and I said, and there was another fellow there also that jumped right in when we started talking about it. He said, yeah, we got engineers out there that's giving easements, all right, we're getting easements, we're fine, but they only give us 10 feet. We need 30 feet, minimum 30 feet. So it turned out to be a very interesting conversation and a good class. And also, the state of Texas pays for their easements. You know, if you go down and get an easement in Texas, you gotta pay by footage or by distance or whatever it is. So it was an interesting class and I enjoyed it. Second class I attended was Open Meetings Act. And you're gonna get a kick out of this one. The very second comment that was made about the mayor in Baldwin, Kansas. And a council person, where the two of them got together and had a discussion about what they wanted to do. And it was picked up by somebody outside and it was challenged. And come to find out, the mayor can't do that. If he makes a deal with him, he has to make it with the rest of us too. It can't be a private thing. And they'll come in and seize phones and computers and all kinds of stuff. And I was amazed, because I'm not a computer man, as to how much you can really get out of a phone or a computer, even though you take everything out of it. They can go in and get it. But that happened here in Baldwin.
So I want to clarify that.
That was with the mayor and one of the councilmen.
I think it was with three council members, and it was the council before I was elected.
I don't know, they only mentioned one by name, and I don't know who the rest of them were.
Yeah, it was
But anyhow,
it was in the paper, but it was, yes.
but I didn't know.
There's nobody here.
Yeah, I want to clarify, you just said the mayor. I was not involved.
What you said has weight and gravity.
Yeah.
If you don't specify what you're
You
saying.
gotta specify it.
Anyway, this second reading thing that we just did away with, they're talking about that, and they're saying that is actually a good thing to have, because that also goes to the public. That gives the public the option to come back at the next meeting, so you have a second meeting on it, or a second hearing on it, to come back to the council in that period of time. Because at the time, they're saying at the time that we do that and make a decision on buying a new truck, for example, or a new police car, that the public didn't really have a time to put an input in it, that we made the decision that was purchased. Of course, I don't think anybody's going to challenge that, but there could be some things the public comes back on. So what we did away with is actually a good thing.
I think, first of all, second reading is really not on capital acquisitions, it's more on ordinance.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
And if you remember what we talked about, I think we all agree it's a good thing, and we aren't necessarily doing away with it.
They're not saying that it's an ordinance or law or whatever.
The point is if anybody in this council feels like whatever ordinance we're talking about needs another reading, or a third reading, or a fourth reading, we can do that.
We can table it.
Yes. And so it doesn't prohibit us from doing that.
No, it doesn't. I didn't say that it did. I'm just saying that they said, or in their stuff, they said it was a good idea to have that for that reason. But it was a very interesting class. It seems that the biggest majority of the problems are in western Kansas, where you have 3 main boards and a mayor. They all live in the same town. There was 2,500 of them. They're drinking coffee at the same place. They're going to the same church. They're playing on the same golf team. 3 of them are going fishing together, and they had some trouble out there. But they're working on trying to get that straightened out as best they can. I don't think we have a problem with this, do we, Casey?
But I think you should brush up on the Open Meetings Act.
Huh?
I think you should brush up on the Open Meetings Act. Takes more than 2 on on a 5-member.
Yeah, it's a 5-member. We got a 5-member board, but it's
2 on
A serial meeting has to have 3 councilmen.
it's going on in 7-member boards too.
that take 4.
It's not just 2 and 3. It's all.
but can you clarify for the community that this was not this council? That they were
Well,
discussing?
we presume that this council's not having any problems this time.
You don't have to presume it.
Yeah.
Question.
There's no question.
It's only being questioned when you allude that it's being questioned. Well, they must not have had a lot to talk about at the water conference if you guys were in serial meetings. God
The water
bless.
conference itself is a good conference. There's other things that you get involved in conversations and stuff with young people. I don't know how many young people that I stopped and visited with or knew me or heard about me or something that stopped and visited with me and talked about it. A lot of your vendors got new parts and new pieces, which wouldn't make any sense to you guys. But it's interesting, and I thank you very much for allowing me to go. And I'm looking forward, and hopefully that I'll be able to go at least one more time next year. I would encourage any one of you to go, even if you don't like the conference itself. There is some good entertainment there. There's some, on evening time, when they have some stuff to do. And I brought home a bag. Where's that bag?
Right here.
You want
No, May.
Free grab bag later.
pass that around?
You can do it after.
Yeah.
And I put some plastic bags in there for anything you want. Anything that's in there, get it out, because, it's just, you do this on Thursday morning. They want to get rid of the stuff because they don't want to pack it and haul it out. They'll dump it in your bag. So you want to be careful when you go up there. Here, take this. So.
All right. I'll entertain a motion.
And I appreciate you all letting me go.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for setting me up.
Representing us.
And what's his name said, tell you hello.
You know who he is?
Yes.
All right.
Right. I know, Elmer.
Elmer Ronbaum.
Yes. We're well.
I'll entertain the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Move to second, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. We're adjourned.